Now that we've covered the review invites, the recipients, the tabs that are in that sub tab that are within that tab, we're going to go ahead and now talk about email drip campaigns. Now, in this video, we're going to kind of jump a little back and forth between the email campaign and the recipients just to further elaborate on a couple of things. If you go into the review, and once again, we're in the invites tab, review invites, and then we're in the sub tab here. We have recipients email invite and opt-in forms. We're now going to go ahead and go into the second sub tab of invites called email. And in the email, there's email drip campaigns. Here, basically, you're setting up email templates that will be sent out to our recipients that we've added in our previous sub tab, the recipients tab. Through this, we'll be able to not only do several things such as schedule, be able to internally name things, categorize things, use those tags to organize certain things, but it will also help us be able to set the way for future people at our location, such as if, let's say, it's a dental office or a law office, we might have a receptionist taking care of this for us. It will allow them to send out an email with what we want to say so that they don't have to spend time to reinvent the wheel. Okay, let's go ahead and get started first by setting up an email drip campaign. And this here that you're seeing in front of you is actually the very basic starting point for the email template. Now, email name, we're going to go ahead and email what we want to call this template. In this case, I have a file here, little notes that I'm taking so that we can easily speed through this. You don't have to see me type all this out. So let's go ahead and check out this section here. I'm basically emailing the user or recipient. Let us know how we did. Hello, say John. Thank you for visiting our office. And then the whole message I want to send to them. Then a signature and a unsubscribe link, as we do have to provide them with that. So in this case, we're going to call this follow-up email for a review. And then the subject line, as I mentioned, is let us know how we did. And then the email itself is hello, and then paste this here. Okay, and then later on we'll actually be changing this with something else, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. And then I want to use a custom footer, which is this here, and then the unsubscribe text, which is this. And of course, I'm not going to add these little lines in here. And once I have all my information in here, I want to go ahead and click create email. Now, if you don't enter all the information correctly, it might fail when you create it as it did here. So it's always good to make a note as I'm doing here, because this does tend to clear. And when this clears, you can't get that text back. So let's go ahead and do this one more time. Follow up for a review. Let us know how we did. Wrong section. And I'm going to skip this footer part for now. Okay, your email follow-up for a review has been created. Now you'll see the same campaign showing here, and this is added in. Our text is here, and then the options for being sent that we didn't set are there. But if you do want to set these to a different time amount, you can select it from when to send here. Okay, let's go back to our email. I'm following up with them, so this will probably be the next day. And yes, allow this to be emailed on weekends. So once I change that setting, it did update. And let's go ahead and make sure everything's here. Yes, on the weekends, I want to send it out. Now this is set to Eastern Standard Time, and we are on the West Coast, and they are, I believe, 3 hours ahead of us. So for me, it would actually be sent out at noon, so it does arrive around 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And now here is where we'll start adding in our it's called interpolation, the technical term, but it's just how we tell the system how to place a person's name. So let's go ahead and click on this. We're going to click on first name, And as you can see in this sidebar, we have a couple of options here. We have a couple of mail settings, and we'll go into more detail with this, and a couple of tips here. So what it's telling me is I can use these options here to personalize my email. So I want to say hello first name, which will be filled in by that person's name. And then we might want to add our logo into our well, in this case, I want to add my actual title of my company here. So I'll say profile name, and I want to add my logo here. So I go ahead and put the logo. So we'll see a profile name, a logo, and I believe that's good enough for now. I don't think we need much else there. Now, we're going to go ahead and add the information here. Mail settings from name. This is the name that they'll receive it from. So that's the law office of Scott Sobel. And then the email address it's coming from. So this would be the email. Of course, you would put your email address here. And then if you're using a free email service such as Gmail, Yahoo Mail, or AOL, it will cause emails to bounce. So make sure that you're not sending it out from a Gmail account. And if you don't have a business email address, which if you're running a business, it's very important that you have your name at yourcompany.com. For in this case, for myself, it's at innova accelerator or crowdfunding planning, so it's rhernandez at crowdfundingplanning.com. If you don't have one, talk to us here at innova accelerator. We could definitely help you out with that, get you set up so that you can have that. We do have an option here also called click to reply to. So we can have an email go out from one system but reply to something else. So let's say I'm having my email being sent out from um, updates at crowdfundingplanning.com, or if it's this actual client, it would be um, updates at scottsobellaw.com. But that's being sent out by a computer. We don't want a computer to receive a reply to it, so we actually want to email it to somebody else. So in this case, maybe it might be the receptionist at Scott Sobel offices. So maybe her name. Well, let's. How about we have a generic one? We'll say info at scottsobellaw.com. Let's say that's his email address. We can place that there, and when it gets emailed out, it'll be emailed out from rhernandez at crowdfundingplan.com. But when they respond, it will go to info at scottsobellaw.com. Now, I'm going to go ahead and change this just because we don't want to actually send out emails as somebody as we're doing this tutorial. But let's say I wanted to reply back to my same email address or my other email address. So once we go here, I can go ahead and click send a test. And when I click send a test, it will say send a test to, and then let's go ahead and send it to me at innovaaccelerator.com. And then my name is Rafael, and my last name is Hernandez. And send a test. Okay, it says it's been sent. Let's go ahead and hop over to the other browser, and it looks like I don't have the other browser open here. But I'm going to go ahead and open a new tab and go over to the email. And let's take a look here. Let us know how we did. Hello, Rafael. Thank you for visiting our office. Please leave us a review, how we did, and then it says Law Office of Scott Sobel. So basically, that's the email. It's been sent out. Now, of course, every single person you email out to, they will receive it. Now, we don't have a logo set up for this company, so when you saw the little logo there, it kind of looked broken. But if you have your logo uploaded and all your information is up to date for your profile, you'll see your logo there. Now, one thing that will happen is once you have your email campaign set up, you'll then be able to email that out to your recipients. Now, in my case, I don't have any here, so let's go ahead and add one manually real quick. I'm going to add myself again. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and add a recipient. Now, at this point, it's pending because I would have to actually accept to get this email, but I don't want to wait because I don't think it's going to arrive within the first couple of seconds. It might take a couple of minutes. So we're going to skip that step. We're actually going to go ahead and just activate the account. So once I click activate, it will actually disappear from here, and now it will be in the active section. And here now, you can see how many times an email was sent out to me in this part here. Now, of course, I can click this to deactivate, and then it will go into the inactive. I can go ahead and hit the little X to delete it, or I can go ahead and unsubscribe, and then I'll go to the inactive as well. So now that's how I would have my set up my user, control my user, and this is where the email campaign or email drip campaign will live. Now, if I need to add any more of these campaigns, then I will click add an email and I can create another one. But let's go ahead and finish up this here, just because we went ahead and we did part of the top, but we forgot one section which we will need when we're emailing people out. Um, and that's the default footer here. It says it has some type of HTML code here, but you will see that it's saying, "Did you write a review? Thank you," and then a link that says "click here," and then to unsubscribe, and then below it says the address of the client. And we could definitely update that. That's part of our template when we first make it here. And I will make another video in which I show you how to completely update that. But right now at this moment, I don't want to go through all those extra steps. I'll do that in another video. Okay, so as we learned from this session, from this video here on our course, is um, we can go ahead and create as many email campaigns as we want. We can give them an internal name, as you see here. We can also set up how we want the emails to be sent out from ourselves to the client or to your recipient, who they can reply to, how we can use these special brackets with the parameter in it, such as the first name, last name, to customize the email. Add our profile name, such as Law Offices of Scott Sobel here, or your business name, a logo, and we can even go as far as to add another couple of things here as well. And then we are able to add a custom footer that they receive at the bottom of our email. And pretty much that's what there is for the email drip campaigns in the review invites tab. In the next video, we'll go ahead and talk about forms that you will be able to use that are very much like this email drip campaign, but they're more expedited, as the person will actually receive it while they're visiting your location or right shortly after they leave your location. So we'll talk about that in the next video.